Hey, y'all, it's me. Welcome to the channel. I have a massive forehead. Oh my god. What I want this channel to be is basically, I just want to talk into a camera, and I want what I say to resonate. You really don't. This is like the kind of thing that you can put on in the background while eating if you want to. But I wanted to actually make a difference because I know a bunch of channels that do the same thing that I'm trying to do, and I watch them, and I basically got inspired by them, which is why I decided to start my own. So, of course, identity secret. I look really stupid, my bad. But yeah, enough dilly-dallying. I want to get into the video part of the video. I want to talk today about why you should never date inside of your friend group because yeah, there's actually a lot of reasons for this. I'm gonna start sort of like preface it by with a personal experience. So my friend group, I don't know, I'm a high school senior. We have like probably like 10, 11, I don't know, people in my main friend group. Some of them are more involved than others, but I have a good amount of friends. So one of them, once there was like this dude that like everyone knew who he was, but he kind of recently joined in like the actual friend group, right? And right after he did, one of my other friends, who's also in the group, started like talking to his ex. So then the original guy left, and that kind of fucked everything up for a bit. Because how you obviously that's against the bro code. You're not supposed to do that. That's like given unless you ask permission, which obviously he didn't in this case. But that it kind of messed everything up because everyone else was just caught in the crossfire because everyone was friends with both of them, and then they started hating each other, so no one really knew how to side. And then the guy who joined for a little bit, and then the dude started dating his ex, and then he left. That guy's like kind of no longer in the friend group, but I'm still friends with him. He sits next to me in fourth period. And the guy, this happened a couple months ago. I think he's like officially dating her now. I don't actually know because he kind of keeps it private because he's not as involved in the group. But we're obviously all still friends with him. The whole point is like everyone else was kind of put into a bad situation and wasn't really any of their fault. And this is very common. That's what happens every time, and it's why I'm so against dating in the friend group. It's because especially at a young age, dating never really ends well. Like in high school, only 2% of relationships end up successful. So if you're gonna date in high school, whoa, listen to those knuckles. That was sexy. If you're gonna date in high school, make sure to actually like give it a real attempt. Don't just date to like date. Don't just do it to do it. Actually try to. I preach date to marry personally. Yeah, as I was saying, it never really ends well. So like, if you're gonna do it and you have a friend group that's bigger than like four people, there's no really good outcome. Even if you break up and you're on good terms, it's just awkward, man. It's just bad. There's also another occasion when I was young. I think it was in like my sophomore year. Not really young, but we were all in our sophomore year. There was a guy and a girl in my friend group. They started dating and they broke up and then started dating again. I don't really know the whole timeline if I'm being honest. They eventually separated, and it was really there were a couple really bad moments in there because my friend group like sticks through it to the thing, and then everyone's always been friends, per se, but like we've had a couple rough patches, and it's almost always because we date inside the friend group, and almost always it's literally just always it's bad. The first example I used actually isn't even really dating inside the friend group. It's just a conflict that happened inside the friend group because of another girl. I mean, obviously it wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault at all. It was the dude's fault. We all think the dude that started talking to her is in the wrong. That was disgusting. I'm sorry. Yeah, guy two, the guy who was already in the friend group and then started talking to her. We all think he's in the wrong because it was kind of his fault because he could have just not done it. But we all feel bad for guy one. But yeah, obviously there was a woman involved. And not to say it's like always women's fault or whatever, because it's not. I'm not a misogynist. I don't really care. It's just like it never really can end well when you date inside the friend group or when you have something like that has to do with multiple entities in the friend group. Ooh, big word use. So like about a week ago, not a week. I don't know why I said a week. It was like a month probably at this point, like a little less than a month. One of my friends. It's different than anyone I've ever mentioned, and so is the girl, also different than anyone I ever mentioned. One of my friends and another one of my friends, one guy, one girl in the same group. The guy just kind of casually mentioned at lunch in front of all of us, like, sort of as a joke, actually. He was like, yo, what do you think are my shots of having a chance with blank? And we were like, I mean, she is really touchy, because she is really touchy, but again, that's like the kind of just kind of the person she is, my bad. We all kind of did notice that she was being like particularly touchy with him one day, which I guess ended up being just a coincidence because when he said it in front of another girl who's in the group, and she told her, and the news got back to the original girl that like the original guy was like, oh, maybe I have a chance with her, but like he kind of said it as a joke, but I guess when the news got to her, she didn't see it that way, and she was like pissed, like for like a day. It only lasted for a day, but there was a whole turmoil there. But then I'm still like best friends with her, and I talked to her the next day, and she was like, I'm just gonna pretend nothing happened, and I'm like, good. That's good. That's what you should have done originally. It's not what happened originally, because nothing is ever, right when it comes to dating in the friend group and what happened originally. I'm gonna start about my broad. I feel like I've said enough personal experiences. Did I ever finish the second one? The second one actually, it took like a year. It's fully resolved now though, because both the guy and the girl are like full members of the friend group again. I don't think they, they don't dislike each other at all. It's just like there are still some awkward moments, and it's all stemmed from that thing that happened like more than 2 years ago at this point. It never ends well. If you want like your friend group to last, because this is another topic that I might talk about at some point. If you want your friend group to last past high school, you have to try to like keep it as intact as you can while you're in high school. Obviously, you got to have the most positive experiences with them all, and obviously we've had that, but we've also had our fair share of like weird, kind of iffy ones, and it's just because a lot of the times that we date inside the friend group, and it's like, stop. You've learned your lesson, dude. Stop. I know we're not the only group either, but I know my group is a good example of like we can be used for this example. So I know there's a bunch of other times this happened as well, because I'm only really like in one group, but I associate with other groups as well, and I know there have been weird times in their groups because of the same reason as well. I feel like I might have introduced too many characters, but so we might not have been like keeping track of anything. I mean everything I've been saying, but if you have, then kudos to you. And if you know me in real life, then you definitely know, because I mean, identity hidden, but there's like a, I don't know. If you know, you'll know. So remember what I said at the start of the video of like what are the chances of you finding your soulmate in your hometown? Yeah, that's still really applies. Like it's very doubtful that they're even like in your country right now. If you want to be broad, I mean they kind of do have to speak your language because you have to communicate, but and they also have to be like your designated gender. Like you can be gay, you can also be straight, which would cut the, well, I guess both would cut the possible mates in half, and they would also have to be in your age range. You don't want to date a child. You don't want to date someone who's like 87 years old and shit. I don't know. I guess there's a lot of criteria, but there's still like millions upon millions of people. Like, what are the odds that it comes from your hometown? You know what I'm saying? It might not be billions, but millions, I guess. I know I was lucky enough to find my girlfriend, who I've now been dating for, it's like February, so September. Yeah, so it's like a year and a half in like a month. Actually 2 weeks. It's a year and a half in like 3 weeks. I don't know. I was lucky enough to find her on a service trip to Hawaii. I went to Hawaii because on the year previously, my brother had gone to Hawaii, and I did the same trip with just by myself, and I just lived with a bunch of random people I'd never met before for like 10 days. It was pretty cool. I made a lot of friends, and I found my soulmate, which I wasn't really looking for at the moment, which is another thing. You don't have to be looking for someone all the time. Like the third example I was saying, of the dude who's like, I think I have a chance with her. We're like, dog, this is just another example of you just being desperate. Because that's true, that guy is pretty desperate. He always looks for someone, and he always fumbles the bag. I literally have a list on my phone of everyone he's ever fumbled. There's like 13 people. I guess he just got desperate, which caused like a turmoil. I mean, everything's cool now, but the first example we still haven't really recovered from. Like the thing where the dude dated the girl. I don't fucking know. The dude dated the dude after the other dude talked to the girl. I don't know. The dude was actually the guy that recently joined the friend group was dating the girl. Then they broke up, and then the dude who was already in the friend group started talking to her, and the guy who just recently joined was like, "Hey yo, what the hell?" Rightfully so, because I would have done the same thing if I was in that situation. Point is, we have like permanent damage because of that. Like we had to reschedule stuff because of that. The thing I've noticed is it's always very unpredictable when this can happen, because like basically everything I've mentioned so far, like no one saw coming like 24 hours in advance. Like we didn't know the dude was talking to the girl, and when he told it to us, we were like, her, really, her? And like the thing that the dude just casually mentioned at lunch, like 24 hours after that, it was all screwed. But I mean, that ended up solving itself. Like we're all cool now. But like, Point is, first thing we never recovered from, and we probably won't ever stop being repetitive. I'm sorry. I'll get better at these videos as I make more of them, but I should stop, like, saying the same thing over and over again. My bad. Another thing I want to make, another thing that I want to talk about in a future video, but that I kind of alluded to earlier, Senior Beach Week. I don't know if you guys do that, but we currently have that scheduled for June. Like, we have a house and everything. We have it booked. It's like February right now. We had to like kind of redo our plan because of the whole thing I just mentioned. So like it causes inconveniences to like everyone else. We didn't have to redo our whole plan, but we had to like, well, who's coming? Who's not coming? Who's driving? Who's doing everything? We had to redo all of that, but we had a house. Also the last example, we told him like don't do anything now because you'll fuck it up. Like, and you'll fuck up the friend group and you'll do everything. It won't be really, I mean, it kind of would actually be his fault, but it would suck for everyone else. And it's easily preventable, which is the point. So we said, if you're going to do anything, do it during Senior Beach Week because that is like our last time together. That's in like, that's in like less than 4 months. We're leaving like June 9th, I think. So, yeah, man. Bottom line, it ruins a lot. I feel like this is like probably one of the top 20 worst videos ever posted. I didn't really say anything. This probably could have been like 7 seconds long and would have had the same amount of impact that this video would. I'm sorry. My fault. I'll get better at not yapping. Literally this, I've already said before. So yeah, I'll get better at not yapping. Take time, with love and whatnot. Don't just rush into a relationship, especially if it's inside the friend group. Don't just like think, oh, I like her, even though you really don't, because I learned that love isn't a choice. At least in my opinion, it's not a choice. And I think you should only date people you like really love because I think you wanna make it last. I know I have a friend that says like, yeah, I just date in high school because I want the high school experience. Like, I mean, first of all, you can get that in college. The college experience is a hell of a lot more like wild, I guess, and better in every way than high school. At least I haven't been to college, so I don't know. But that's just what I'm assuming. At the same time, like there's so many people trying to do the same thing in college that you are, both guys and girls. And there's probably a lot more guys, and the guy I'm talking about is a guy because guys are more down bad than girls. So I don't know, just like good luck. You kind of have to be hot, to at least have a chance, or like be in a frat. I don't know, or just go to a big state school. I don't know. There's a lot of things that it just always depends. You have to get lucky. You also have to get very, very lucky. And I think I'm blessed that I did get very, very lucky. I want to try to make my relationship last. Like I want to marry my current girlfriend, but realistically, I don't know if that's gonna happen. But I really want it to. But I do also know that, like what I said earlier, only 2% of relationships last. At least high school ones. But I love her, man. I want to try it. I'm gonna try it. All right. I need to like work on not getting off track. But what I was saying earlier. Shit, forgot already. Hold on. It's like you don't want to rush into it. You want to take your time. You want to make sure you're always making the right decision. As at least if you're like me. I mean, if you don't think the same way I do, then yeah. But if you want to find like a real good relationship, which is what everyone seems to want, then yeah, you got to take your time. You got to make sure that is like locked in before you actually start doing anything, because otherwise it could get messed up. This is just also talking very broadly. I'm not even really. This could apply to both in and out of the friend group, but yeah. If you want to date inside the friend group, my advice is don't, and if you do, make sure you're locked in because you don't want to ruin the experience for everyone else. That's really the main message I'm trying to get at here, which is just like I don't know. I hope it resonates. I guess we're actually talking about Beach Week. I don't know if you guys do Beach Week, but it's like seniors go to beach for a week. That's why it's called Senior Beach Week. We're actually talking about that. We have like 11 people, I think, and we still don't really know the full crew, but we did have to like redo a bunch of the stuff because of the thing that happened. But point is, that's gonna be a wild week. I don't really know what's gonna happen. I'm probably gonna make a video about it after it, but there's gonna be a lot of like restrictionary stuff that happens there. That was actually like cringe as hell. I'm sorry. That you didn't need to see that. And I missed the pause button. Isn't that just awesome? Yeah, like that week is just free reign because after that we just got summer and then we're all going off to college. So. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of stuff that goes down that week. It's in like 4 months. I mean, other than that, I'm going to Japan in like a month. I'm going to Japan over spring break, so that's pretty cool. I'm going during cherry blossom season, and there's nothing to fuck up with friend groups there, so yeah. I feel like I've already said my main message like 50 times, 50 different ways, so hopefully what I've said has been insightful. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna end it now because I feel like I could have ended it at like 6 minutes and I would have had the same message. So I'm sorry for yapping, but it gave you more time to do whatever you're doing because you're probably watching this in the background. I mean, I'm sorry. This is probably gonna get like 4 views, but if it doesn't, that's pretty cool. I hope y'all enjoyed. Bye.